Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Clones getting nerfed. Points are increasing. New abilities, new changes, new rules, reference guide. We're going to be talking about all of this stuff. It's coming sooner than you might think, but maybe not as soon as you had hoped. If you guys are new here to the channel, be sure to enter to win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Also, check out some of the links we have down in the video description below. You got some great links down there. You can hop in my Discord. We're very family friendly. You can jump in there and talk about this and other games. You can also ask questions if you want to get some advice on list building, to find out other people who play maybe in your area, all that good stuff. It's a great opportunity to join another Legion community or gaming community. Also, we've got links for social media and luxury playstyle too. If you guys haven't already heard, we're going to be working on some Legion tokens, and well, we've been working on some Legion tokens. They are looking to be coming out soon. We're going to be the first wave of Legion tokens is looking to be out around Thanksgiving weekend, so stay tuned for that. You're going to really like these. I'll be talking more about them soon. They're going to be pretty high end though, so and I've already seen some samples and they're looking gorgeous. So stay tuned for that, just to whet your appetites a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about AMG. They had another stream last night. They were talking about points. They were talking about rules reference guide updates, and also some new like teaser spoiler things of things that we can expect. And so, if you guys haven't already heard, there's a big, not only a points errata update, but a big rules reference guide update. And this is coming. They're targeting the end of October. They wanted it to be out by October, early October. Now it's pushed back to the end of October. If it doesn't make that, then they're hoping it's out by Thanksgiving. But then again, it's out of their hands right now. They're done with it. So the first update is they're done with all of the rules updates and points updates and all of the errata and all of that stuff. It's all done. It's in Lucasfilm's hands, LFL's hands right now. So licensing has to go over everything, and they have their own timeline for that. So really, there's nothing more AMG can do at this point except to be prepared to give the thumbs up when LFL says go. Now, the reason why all that has to happen, well, what if they were to give, Han Solo a Darksaber upgrade or something like that? Like things, basically LFL has to go through everything, make sure that everything makes sense, and everything is thematic. They're not turning Princess Leia into a Sith. They're not, turning Rex into a droid, and things of that sort. So once they have a chance to review everything, then AMG can be like, all right, boom, points are now live, and they'll publish this document. My guess is they'll have a link to it on their website, but it'll probably still be hosted on the FFG website like the last X-Wing points are. But I guess we'll have to find out when that happens. Of course, when it does happen, I'll be bringing you guys a good kind of look and see at all the new things, because in addition to all of the forum rules reference clarifications, there's also a points update. And that's going to be significant, but also a big errata. So this is like and also all the new mechanics. So this is like a 4-in-1. All the new mechanics are going to be in there. All the questions, the Q&A on FAQ stuff is going to be in there. All of the points updates are going to be in there, and all of the errata. And we're going to talk about some of that today, because there's been a couple of errata, not only to specific units, but also to core rules of the game. And some of these are pretty big. You see I have clones over here. We're going to be talking about clones. Clones probably have one of the biggest changes that we've seen in a while. You've probably already heard about the Darth Vader changes, but in case you haven't, during the mini extravaganza, they did kind of tease that Darth Vader was the first. Did I say Darth Vader? Darth Vader is that like a Darth Vader over here? It's like my old New York roots are coming back. No, Vader is basically getting some changes, and he's getting some like OP changes. So first off, his 1 pip and his 3 pip from the Vader OP are being changed. So and those are like Darkness Descends is now going to give him some surge tokens, and then his original 1 pip is going to give him a dodge when he's activated each round, something to that effect. And he's also gaining a command slot, and he's also gaining Compel Core. So he can now compel core troopers. So if you have enough stormtroopers with him, your army may feel as though it is totally immune to suppression, and so that's pretty wild, provided that Darth Vader stays alive. So major changes coming to Darth Vader, especially on the heels of Burst of Speed coming out, or is going to come out, because like the whole Kashyyyk wave for the United States at least is delayed, and I think that right now it's like the end of December is the current date. So I don't even know. I feel like I want to do a whole nother video about that, but it's I don't want to like throw blame around because there is a shipping crisis, at least to the United States, but everywhere else in the world seems to have the stuff already. So I just don't even. Let's stick with the next topic. Okay. So we've already talked about the Vader changes. Recently, we also learned in another AMG stream, again, they don't really publish information. They just kind of do live streams and just casually talk about stuff, which is a really strange way to get information out there. But it's just spoilery, teasery information. So I know a lot of people would rather actually have a website with articles as opposed to just streams kind of giving information out piecemeal. I'm one of those. I like having articles that I can go and read as opposed to having to watch a whole stream because it's like I have like 17 jobs sometimes, and it's hard for me to sit down and just watch a stream for an hour to an hour and a half and hope that they give me a breadcrumb. But it's one of the things that happens. Anyway, we learned that Han Solo is getting steady. And so in this, it goes in line with kind of with the Darth Vader changes, is that a lot of the Galactic Civil War, a lot of the Empire and Rebel characters are getting changed. From what I've heard, it looks like it's largely going to be focused on the hero type characters. That like a lot of I wouldn't be surprised if there's some changes to maybe Luke and or Leia, maybe Commander Luke, and stuff like that. Steady is a big deal for Han Solo, right? He can maybe move and get in a position to try and get that gunslinger shot off. We don't know if that's the only change coming to Han Solo. There could potentially be some command card changes to Han Solo as well, although he does have some fairly good command cards, and they're very good in very specific scenarios too. And in the right scenario, they can be amazing. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets any tweaks. I think there's certainly the possibility for some of them to have just a little bit more added to them, like an extra token here or there. And it'll be also pretty interesting to see what changes maybe Chewbacca might have. I'm curious. I'm guessing there'll be some changes to Chewbacca, especially considering that he is getting some love with the Republic. I wonder if they'll want his Rebel version to get like a little bit of a boost, or maybe some kind of additional synergy with Han. They have the whole teamwork thing going on, but I wonder if they could do better. Does Han really need to get an aim that Chewie might have had? If he's like, wait a second, Han's rolling 2 reds with Pierce 2, like, does he really need an aim? Who knows? Maybe Observe would be really good for him. I always like Observe tokens for those units that have like just a small pool of reds, and I don't really need that many rerolls, but it's good just in case. So Han Solo's getting steady. Red player core rules change now. The red player is going to pick the table edge. This is probably not a big deal for casual gamers, but this is more important when it comes to tournament play. It gives and this kind of goes in line with making red player a little bit more meaningful. In that we're talking about changing the layout to having 4 cards instead of just 3. We actually did that in our last battle report for Legion. So if you want to check the channel, scroll back to find the last battle report that we put up. It was actually a pretty cool one, and we did a full length battle report zooming in on the dice rolls and trying to change things up a little bit. But yeah, so having all 4 cards for each row out there is pretty interesting, because now you can't lock in anything. You can't guarantee anything without some mutual cooperation from the other player. And so now having the red player pick their table edge is going to be interesting. It's like for home games, you kind of just pick whatever you want to sit, and then you just kind of go from there. Right? But no, for tournament and OP kind of style games, that's that could be a thing. Maybe there's like, look, I need a high ground. I need to be able to deploy my snipers up on this kind of higher area. So this is where I need to be, or I need room for my snowspeeder to be able to get through. So I need to be here. But let's talk about clones. First off, Rex is going up by 10 points. Now, look, this is fine. Rex is an amazing commander, and I think he'll still be an amazing commander at 10 points. 10 points more expensive, but it's strange because part of his ability, part of what makes him great, is also getting reduced, and that's the big clone changes. So basically, what AMG had put out is that clones are only going to be able to spend another clone's token once per attack or defense. And this is kind of a big deal. This is kind of a big deal. Having like that's their signature ability, and it's already been changed once because it used to just be green tokens could be shared, and then they had to say no, 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 no more sharing of standbys. So only dodge, surge, and aims can be shared. So now they're saying you can only share one token per opportunity, basically. Now, what is a little unclear right now, depending on how this exact ruling is worded, because sometimes when they're telling you something, they're just kind of paraphrasing. It's unclear if being a clone trooper means you can only spend one token, period, because then that would actually be potentially a negative thing, because there's also exemplar to think about, like Padme being the most obvious example, although to a lesser extent you kind of have Anakin out there too, right? But yeah, and I think Yoda has the command card that gives him Exemplar on the one time. I think they wanted to kind of power up Exemplar a little bit, because my guess is that basically it's going to work. So if you have Rex who does like a double move and like he gets those 2 aims for free, another like a Z6 clone trooper shoots, and they're not going to be able to spend a second aim from Rex. They're going to kind of want to aim on their own, and then they can spend one from somebody else. But then if they spend the aim, they can't spend any surge tokens. So so I like to run phase 1 clones and
Hera,
my dog. I like to run phase 1s, but the phase 2s like are always nice because they are generating those surge. So you always have some surge in your army that's just available, but like. Look, I know a lot of people, a lot of you guys specifically love phase 2s. And I've seen some initial reactions where people are like, well, phase 1s are dead now. I feel exactly the opposite. I feel like phase 2s are now going straight into the garbage pail. Since I will never be able to use their surges again. Why pay all the extra point? I mean, there's still a Courage 2 unit, so I might still use them a little bit. But I just don't think they're all that great anymore. Unless they're the unit that's doing the shooting. But what I like about the phase 1s is they're cheaper. I can still get a Z6 out there, same dice pool, for much less points. And I could use all the tokens I want. But now I can't really use the extra tokens. Now, granted, if you know the phase 2 is going to be doing the shooting, well, you can use your own surge on your own dice pool. And so there's that certainly advantage. But then I liked the flexibility of having multiple phase 1 Z6s, and I'm only going to have one great shot from this one, so at least the other ones can then feed. So I had more flexibility, I think, with the phase 1s. And I feel like phase 2s now, unless you're going to run all phase 2s, but then you're going to run out of points much, much quicker. Especially with Rex going up 10 points too. So it's gonna be real interesting. That's a fact, and also in terms of fire support, it doesn't matter at all. Like phase 1s are definitely the kings of fire support right now, because you get the exact same dice pool for much cheaper. It doesn't matter if you have a surge on your character. You're not spending that when you're using fire support, and it doesn't matter if you have courage, whatever. Doesn't matter because you are not even activating, so you don't even have to worry about panicking. So phase 1s still undisputed king of fire support. Phase 2s are still slightly better if you're the dedicated shooter, because you're going to have the higher courage value and the free surge token. But I'm not sure. I know a lot of you guys really like phase 2s. I've always just stuck with the phase 1s, and I tangentially used the phase 2 here and there, and they're fine ish. They're okay. I don't know, but I play differently than some of you other guys. I want to get as much stuff on the table as I can, and cheaper clones means I can fit more stuff, which means I can have more fun battles, because maybe I want to get like Anakin, Padme, and Obi-Wan, and still have all my core, and still have Z6s, and I just have things that I really want to fit. And if I'm trying to squeeze all that into 800 points, phase 2s make it more difficult. But that's part of list building. So I'd love to continue this discussion with you guys. Who knows what more changes we're going to see. We have been told that most of the changes in this next RRG update is going to be centered around the Galactic Civil War. But there are some things related to Clone Wars that we can expect to see as well. And this is obviously a big part of that. I don't know if this is going to be like the nail in the coffin that like makes clones unplayable, or is it going to be like that perfect balance that brings clones like to that sweet spot where they're perfectly balanced with everybody else? I don't know. It's really risky to even say the words perfectly balanced, isn't it? Isn't it something you should just never even say, because it's always going to get proven wrong? We'll have to find out. I still think clones are going to be quite playable. I think this does definitely make Padme the de facto best unit in the entire Republic, and I think that's a shame. I think it's a real shame. I want to have my Padme support squad on kind of lockdown, which is, you know, like a regular phase 1 clones with the specialist for the extra equipment, and then your 2 equipments are handout aim and handout dodge. And I park those right next to Padme. When that clone core unit goes, boom, give Padme an aim, boom, give Padme a dodge. We're done. Now Padme can do her own actions, just, you know, quick thinking and standby. Now she's got all the tokens to share, and since she's exemplar, your clones can still feel like they used to. And a lot of people were taking Padme anyway, so it won't even be that much of a shift from what you needed to do. That's my quick takeaway. Maybe I'll do a build with that here soon. Stay tuned. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll do a build tomorrow, or using the new Padme helper support squadron. All right, I want to talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. You can help make this channel possible. If you're interested in learning more about Patreon, check the links in the description below. I will talk to you guys later. And as always, put your socks on before your shoes. Huh? What?